And we are recording, Mr. Mo. And I
I'm
think I
ready.
realized I have you like Pavlov trained, where when I say I'm gonna hit that shit, you pull out a tissue and you blow your nose.
Because whenever I hit that shit, I blow a load in a tissue. I think I think this has multiple layers.
That's right, literally.
Yeah. Hey, what's it look like I'm doing? Ah, ah, Give me one more second.
looks like I'm swiping through chat roulette.
You know what? I had I have friends who've been like honestly, CMO, you've never jacked it off in like your work bathroom. I'm like,
Ew,
no,
what?
I've
No,
never.
I think that's a crime. That's like
I've never
very
like
illegal.
this
Weird.
there's no place I'd rather jack off less than like anything associated with my job. You know what I mean? It's just like you don't go there. And then also
Ugh.
uh when I see that people get caught like jacking off like on camera, like on Zoom or whatever, I'm like, how fucked up are you? Like,
You
do
can't
you really
wait
get
3
off on
minutes?
your coworkers or like the thrill of it or
Yeah,
gross.
that's weird, dude. That's weird.
Let me tell you,
That's like
after I jack off in the privacy of my home in my room, I had like the post nut clarity where I'm like, oh, I feel so dirty. Oh,
I
gross.
see, I'm classy about it. I light some candles around the
Oh,
apartment,
that's sexy.
a little Barry White, I really do me. I pray to Jesus a couple of times to make sure he knows it's cool between us, and,
Well,
and then we good. We good. That's my that's why my O face isn't even like, it's like,
oh, really?
That's right. I reach nirvana every time. Anyways.
Mine's like this. Ah!
So you should always make sure to see a doctor, kids. Anyways, we're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1.
What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge!
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the Frat Chat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with CMO Moore. How's it going, Mr. Mo?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? What's new?
I am good, living the dream. I am getting ready, as are you, as is our good buddy Ron in a stacked ass lineup, is going to join us this Wednesday at QED Astoria for the return of Just Kidding, baby. And I'm excited. I'm excited to have all 3 of us together again. I'm excited for this epic lineup. We got Michael Brigante, we got Canis Circa,
Oh, I love them both.
April Welsh. I've got a bunch
Mhm.
of epic comedians. Everybody's so fucking good. It's gonna be awesome. So
And of course,
check it out.
Ron Prendamano, what a gem.
That's
Love him
right.
so much. So my mom asked me like weeks ago, will you please come home that week for my birthday? My mom's birthday is
Oh.
at the end of next week. And I said, no, show must go on. Just kidding, gets priority, but I will fly home. I'm taking a train on myself, but I said I'll fly home on Thursday. So Thursday morning, I'm gonna go visit my mom for a long weekend. So I'll be recording next week. Probably intoxicated with my mom. You know the drill. Sorry in
Yeah,
advance.
brother. And I'm an asshole. I said April Welsh. It's Emily Walsh. April
Oh, I
Welsh.
was gonna say I don't know April, but Emily Walsh. Oh, I think she just had a baby.
She's epic. She's been on Don't Tell Comedy, which is a pretty
Oh,
big on
she's
on
fantastic.
Hardcore Comics. She's a killer. It's gonna be epic. So we got a lot of lady killers. We got
Yeah.
some epic comics on the dude side too. We bring the funny to diversity, baby. It's what we do. So go to the QAD Astoria website and get those tickets now while you can, because the houses have been packed, baby. So you don't want to miss out on this one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I did a stress test this week. Have you done one of those before?
no, I don't need to be tested to know I am stressed.
Oh, no. So I've had some heart issues, and they're checking up and seeing like, okay, like we did all this heart monitor,
Oh,
we've
how
done these like
strong your
things.
heart is.
Yeah, so they put your heart through stress to see what happens like in all four chambers, I guess, of your heart, like during like stressful
Yeah.
situations. So what they did was they had me walk on this treadmill, and then every 2 minutes they would speed it up and incline it until my heart rate got to like so many beats per minute. And I guess maybe I'm more fit than I thought because it took a longer time. They were like, oh, normally it takes about like 6 minutes, but we'll go a little bit longer. But they kept doing more until I got up to the heart rate that I needed. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't know if I can go on, guys. Like, Chris, you're fine. I was like, because I never do cardio at the gym ever. I just lift. And so I was like, I don't know if I have what it takes. I was so stressed. I guess that's the point.
You
But
have heart, but you didn't have heart that day. They're different.
I
They're
was like,
different.
"Do you have an inhaler? Like, do you use an inhaler? Do you need an inhaler?" I was like, "Well, I don't have one, but I could use. I'm really struggling, guys." And then as I'm coming down and like, after the test was over, they're like, "Do you need some water?" Yes, of course I do.
Have a Gatorade.
Everything's okay. A couple things we gotta look out for over the years, but like for the most part, everything's okay. So
Wow,
all
that's
good.
good. That's good. You see, you guys. Luckily, I'm not that old yet, where I need to get stress tests. But CMO, he's been doing them for years now. Yeah.
You know what really stressed me out? I have a dumb moment that I don't know if you know this. You ever heard of
You never. No.
Okay,
No.
so you ever heard like 16 chapel?
Yeah. 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 Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was the 16th. And so at work I was like, where are the other 15 chapels? They only talk about the 16th. And they were like, no, it's spelled I think Sistine. And I was like, what?
No, Steve, you are too old and up high in the world to be making that mistake.
Did
Can't,
you know that?
what? Yes, the Sistine Chapel.
Doesn't
The
it
dream.
sound like 16th chapel? Honestly, it does like if I were to
Yeah, if
say
you're
16
five.
or 16, but I thought to myself, like, I always thought to myself that maybe the number 16 was lucky because it's religious, because that's like the Vatican, like
That's why
16.
Michelangelo was pissed. He's had to paint all these goddamn chapels.
Yeah, I thought, why did he
And
skip over
17,
the first
18, and 19,
15?
and 20 we're waiting too.
Yeah,
Fuck. That's,
you live and you learn. The more you know. What can you
that's why
do?
all the dicks on the paint. Fuck
Yeah,
these people.
yeah, exactly.
you should see Chapel 69th.
Yeah,
No one goes in there. That's where Father Thomas got transferred to.
yeah.
He's very
Along
happy.
with all the other fathers who've been
That's right.
transferred. It's so funny because it's like, um, I feel like in the cat I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I feel like in the Catholic Church, when someone gets in trouble, do they get in trouble or just get relocated?
I think they just get relocated these days. Because they're like, Father Steve, we told you several times to stop touching the children. Now we're gonna have to send you somewhere awful, somewhere evil, the worst place imaginable. Nebraska. No, it's like
I think that happens. It's like,
Northern Connecticut.
you know,
No.
so at my job, sometimes, there might be poor behavior, poor performance from an individual, and they'll say, maybe it's not the right staff. We should relocate this person to a different shop. I'm like, no, it was just moving a problem. That's
Yeah.
like that's like management 101. So you either work and like correct the problem and hold it accountable, um, or like you get rid of them, but you don't dump a problem onto a new manager. That's not fair to the new manager. So
No,
I feel like
totally.
if like corporate America can get it together, Catholic Church, take a page out of our playbook. What's wrong with you?
Well, corporate America doesn't also have the best record in getting it together. So I think you're more the exception to the rule than anything. Uh, but we do have to take it to our people here because we are a part of the people, and we get some. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the best emails from the listeners we've ever gotten.
Yeah,
Uh, I
that makes
usually
I'm
it's
excited.
usually very clear to tell, like, which one should go first or not, but this one is like, they're both really good. So I'll go first. I'll let yours be the main event
Okay.
because I think yours uh, just edges mine out.
Oh, I
Uh,
love a good
in the
edging.
sense that it's yeah, you got to have a good edging here at the Frat
Yeah.
Chat podcast. But but I think yours is a very, very good question for the world to listen to. But anyways, uh, mine comes from Matt from New York. He's a New Yorker. And I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but that's what he is from.
You know,
He
though,
goes,
if he was from the city, he would have said Matt from NYC or Matt from Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, whatever. But when you say New York, it's probably like upstate, Hudson Valley, Ithaca.
I kind of wish you would have been like, coming to you from the Bronx, cheer, cheer, cheer.
Yeah.
Oh, Scheiße. Yeah, Brooklyn, boo boo. Moving forward, listeners, if you're gonna write us, you have to do shit like that in your your signatures, or else we will. But anyways, he goes, "Yo, frat chat, I need you guys to weigh in before I commit a toilet-related crime." Wow, toilet-related crimes are our favorite kind of crimes. He goes, "My roommate has this thing where he keeps leaving monster dumps in the bowl and just walking away." Like
What?
like it's a human, like it's a museum exhibit. No flush, no warning, just a steamy reminder that I live with a human who has zero shame and possibly a diet made entirely of protein powder and regret. Great start. So I finally confront him. I'm like, dude, what do you keep leaving your shit in the toilet like we're in a campground? And get this, he tells me he usually poops while he's on the phone with his boss. But he doesn't want the
I get
guy
it.
to hear him flush because then the boss will know he's pooping on the clock. It's like, dude, that's your excuse. You can talk business while you're building a butt burrito, but you can't circle back for your flush. He swears he just forgets, in quotations, to go back and flush. And I swear I'm going to start tagging his creations with post-it notes that say Exhibit A, fired for gross conduct. What do I do here? Please advise. Matt from New York. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
before he said that is because he's on the phone with his boss. Um, I thought that, sometimes, like, I've had some monster shits that, like, one flush doesn't do it. But, we had this debate at my job where they're like, you have to close the toilet lid before you flush because there's poop particles. I'm like, yeah, but my shits are so monstrous that if I close the toilet, close the lid and flush, there's no guarantee that it all went down. So I like to have the toilet seat up, flush, make sure I don't have to like scrub and like remove the brownie batter before I close the toilet seat. I'll close it eventually, but I just need to ensure that I didn't leave any evidence behind. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought had happened in this case, but that's
I
valid.
will say, I had a roommate, and this is awful because she was like a very sexy girl, super hot. I was like, this is one of the few times I lived with a girl. I was like, she was great. I was like, damn, I live with such a babe. This is awesome. And then one day, the thing about her, she's very fit. She works out a lot. It's like a protein based diet. I was wondering where does it all go? And one day I
Well,
had to go pee, and I found out where it all goes because I opened that shit, and literally I saw the biggest shit I have ever seen, especially from a girl who's like 5'3", 5'4",
how big?
120 pounds.
Describe it.
It was like that big.
That big? Is it
This is
bigger than Charlie Kirk?
well, it was close. I think that's the day he was born. It
Oh
was a
yeah.
few years ago. And he's grown and matured to be just a bigger, even bigger piece of shit.
Yeah.
But yes, it was fucking bad. And I have to say, it only happened the one time. I like screen risk. I was like, ah! But I know for a fact that she was on the phone with someone at work while she was pooping. So I know that this was the same case. So since it just happened one time, I like flushed it and I tried to forget it from my mind, and I never said anything to her ever. But if it would have happened the second time, I was going to. So at this point, you've already confronted him. I would literally tell him, if you fucking don't start flushing your shit, I'm gonna start literally taking him and tagging you in stories and saying these are your poops, and it's gonna be online content. It's fair game. So
You
that's
know what?
that's my
I had a roommate. So when I was in college, um, we didn't have like iPhones that required like a PIN, you know what I mean? Like your 4 or 6
right.
digit password. It's a flip phone. You flip it up, you use
Yeah,
it, you flip it down. Like there's no
so
like
unsafe.
security measures. And
Yeah.
so this guy that I lived with, we've talked about before, but he was not the best roommate. And one time he smoked weed in my closet. So I was like, please don't smoke weed in the apartment because, do you remember this story? I said, please don't smoke weed in the apartment because our neighbors are cops and the lease
Oh,
is in my name and I'm
ooh.
scared. So
You smoked in your closet?
yeah, because he thought I wouldn't find out. And then I actually had a job interview that day and all my clothes reeked of weed. All of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all your clothes need to smoke like weed. Why didn't
Oh,
you
it was
smoke in his
horrible.
closet?
I was so mad. And he was so high, didn't give a flying fuck. I was like, dude, like, why would you do this? Like, just own it
Yeah,
and say, I'm
that's
sorry, we can be
shitty.
done with this. And he just would not take ownership, didn't care. So I'm screaming at him from the toilet. I'm pooping. Because when I'm angry, I'm like, I got to push out some frustration. Let me pinch a loaf. So I'm pooping. I wiped my butt and I held on to the tissue.
No, no, no,
And
no.
then when I got out of the bathroom, he's on his computer with headphones on. I smacked this shitty soiled tissue against his computer screen and said, "Now your shit stink too. Highlight
No,
them apples."
no.
Yeah. He was like, "You're fucking crazy," and the other roommate was like, "He is crazy. You fucked with the wrong person. He's that guy." But yeah, I put poo on his computer screen. You know, I don't feel bad.
See, I always knew you were the shit.
Let me tell you, fight fire with fire. And anyway, so this guy after that,
Fight
like
fire with diarrhea.
we had a little bit of like a feud, so I would take his flip phone when he wasn't looking and take pictures of my shit and text it to his mom.
No.
Like almost every morning. Like, why'd you do that? Pay your rent, pay your utilities. Come on.
Oh my god.
I mean, he wasn't the best roommate, and neither was I, you know. But that
Yeah,
was also
clearly.
20 years ago, so I've done a lot of growing.
That was also last week, so
That's
you know.
also last week. You know, so it is what it is. What can you do?
Let me do a little note to self. Don't live with CMO. Don't forget. Anywho. Woo, yeah, I would
Anywho,
definitely do something about it. I don't know. What about you, Mr. Mom? Would
you
you
know,
would you leave shit in
I've
his
been in
computer
this
too?
listen, I've been in this position on the phone, like on a conference call. I'm like, this is an emergency. I had like sometimes I'm on back to back to back to back to back calls or I'm interviewing people. Like I just don't have a chance to go to the bathroom. So I turn the camera off and I might mute myself and do what I have to do. If it's a phone call even, I hit the mute button. So they
Now
don't
I will
hear the
say,
farts, they don't hear the flush.
if your work success rate with your mute button is as good as your mute button success rate while you blow your nose here, then someone has definitely heard you in there like, "Ah!" giving birth. Is this guy having a baby? What is he? Maybe
Yes.
he's lifting a very heavy boulder.
Like Chris, are you there? Chris, you have this reports? Chris. Yes. Ah!
I think he's bench pressing 600 pounds
I
right
have all the reports.
Oh shit. Woo.
Literally.
Well, oh god. Well, Matt, I'm sorry. I don't think we're gonna be very helpful this week. We can't. We're not mature enough for this topic. But yeah, you gotta. In my opinion, sometimes it's not meant to be. Some people are not meant to be lived with either. So maybe
Yeah.
reevaluate when your lease is up, and that might be the
Yeah.
best move.
That's a no pun intended, a shitty person.
Yeah.
He should live by himself because like you shouldn't have to walk into the bathroom. Like, what if the bathroom doesn't have a fan or a window? Like, you never know. Like,
Oh,
what? And then you just walk into this funk and like
yeah.
I've been in some steamy, stinky bathrooms where like my mascara is running down my cheek. It's so bad, you know. I can't have that.
It is rough when you walk into a bathroom to take your shit and then it reeks in there and then you sit down and the toilet seat's warm and you don't know from who. It's like, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Especially in the summertime. It's like, no, that's why I do the TP thing and at least hide some of those layers. Because fuck that.
yeah,
But anywho, you got a really good one here.
yeah. So this person is from Catonsville, Maryland,
Oh, nice. Oh,
which
wow.
was actually went to Catonsville High School. So I got really excited when I saw this.
That's where CMO
Um,
got bullied. Yay.
yeah, I got bullied really bad. My
Shout out to
parents,
the lockers used to get stuffed in.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, Dad, like they keep calling me faggot, and they're like, we have to move. Okay. Or you can just tell me I'm not a faggot. No, we have to move.
No, yeah,
Um,
we have to go. Sorry.
so this guy wrote, "Dear Frat Chat, when is an appropriate time to start?" Sorry, I just think this is so funny. Okay, dear Frat Chat, when is an appropriate time to start farting in front of your significant other? I don't feel like I should have to hold it in forever. I've been polite for quite some time, but if she wants to know the real me, I'm pretty gassy. Is this something you reveal after a few months or after you move in together? Or marriage? Signed, Bloated Billy.
Billy, is that you? Oh, Billy. I'm sorry, Billy. Oh god. I think this is the greatest question we've ever gotten.
Well, I sent you, Carlos, I sent you an article the other day, and it said that farting helps reduce high blood pressure and is good for your health. So
Yeah.
if you are restricting your gas, you are putting your body in harm's way.
Yeah. That's
It's
why
not good
Steve
for
did
you.
so good at his stress test. He just let him rip.
Yeah, yeah. My grandma told me that if you held it in, it would come out your mouth and makes your breath stink. Did you know that? Did you know that, Billy? Did you know that?
That's why grandma ruined that carpet. She never kept it in.
Yeah, we had to throw away the bath mat and repaint the bathroom. We had to repaint the bathroom twice.
It was easy to paint the whole thing brown.
And then my mom and dad were like, "We have to move." We have to move, guys. Sorry, grandma was here. We have to move.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm freaking out. Ooh. But let's see. I'm trying to think. When was the first time I farted with Julie?
Well,
Like
your
about
first date was Taco Tuesday,
first day was tacos. So
so there was
uh,
potential for the first date.
I dropped her ass home at home very quickly, and then I
Yeah.
just let it rip.
Yeah.
It was winter too. I'm pretty sure I heated the block that week. It was great. But I think the first time I consciously let one rip. Let me see. Let me see. She's like, Julie, do you remember the first time I farted in front of you? She's She said a few months in.
I remember when I did.
She said she remembers when she did. Here, come in here for a second.
Well, girl farts statistically are stinkier than boy farts.
Yeah. Girl farts are definitely stinkier than boy farts.
Scientifically
Yeah,
proven.
anyways. So it's literally here.
Hello.
Hey, Julie. So we're talking about farts, and it's not. We're talking about farts, and it's not because this is where our mind wanders. Our listeners want to know about farts, and so I had a listener reach out to me and ask me, when is an appropriate time to start farting in front of your significant other? So if you would like to chime in, I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. It'd be
You
an
better
honor.
be exclusive at that point.
Well, that's fair.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. And
That's
we
fair.
were.
Like, I think you want the
Okay.
label. You don't want to do it in front of like your third date, like when you are dating around. Yeah, so I would say maybe a few months in. For girls, it's like even more horrifying. I accidentally did it in front of Carlos once, and I was so mortified.
The things with hers, they don't really. Maybe the first one was like a little, but most of them don't make a sound, and I'm just sitting there like,
Silent but deadly.
You know,
what the fuck is that, Julian?
you know, for gay guys, like listen, like my husband will tell you that I fart in my sleep sometimes, but after like, getting plowed, there's a lot of air stuffed up in there, and so like in my sleep, I don't know, it's just like I've got gas on tap. It's natural
really
gas.
He snores out of both ends.
Yeah.
That's good feedback. Get out of here, Julie. I love you.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, you see, so a couple months in, that's when she did it. I was definitely, I would say maybe like a month or two in for guys. And we lived at like down the street from each other, so we spent a good amount of time together early on. So I felt comfortable. I was like,
Now, when girls fart, sometimes one could argue that it potentially isn't out of their butt.
that's true.
It could be a queef.
That could be a queef. A queef sound different though. I feel like
Oh yeah, can you imitate a queef sound for the
like
listeners?
the fart is like, the butthole's a little like tighter lips, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
so the butthole's like, but the queef, it's like looser lips. So the air kind of flows through, so it's more like
But some girls, it's more like,
yeah.
unfortunately.
That's
You
right.
know,
They can do rings.
no, I had a friend who he's married now, but like when he and his girlfriend moved in, we talked about this. He's like, I'm gonna move in with, Susie Q. I said, you're not ready. He said, what do you mean? I said, because I've been over there and I know that when she uses the bathroom, um, she runs water and like makes a lot of noise and plays music. But like, if you're not comfortable with like, human functions, then I don't know if it's a good idea to live with it. You're not ready. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I totally forgot I had a joke about that for a girl I dated, and I need to put that back in my set because that was a funny joke. But it was like, yeah, what the fuck? You think? It's also like it's so dumb for the girl to do that because it's like, do you not think I know what you're doing in there? You know what I mean?
Taxes.
Yeah, right. You've been in there 25 minutes.
That's how long it takes on TurboTax.
Yeah. Plus, you can at least close the door. Come on, I see you. Okay, that's not a joke. That's I have to say it. I can't tease it to the people. But yes, it's a toughie. It also depends on your date. Julie's very sweet, especially early on. She didn't really allow me to see the crazy until we were like pretty deep in. So I felt very comfortable. Some people, some people are bitches. You might want to wait. You might want to double the time frame. So it just depends on
Yeah,
your girl. Your girl's
I gotta be
cool.
honest. If I was on a date with someone, it could be a first date, and if they farted, I would be turned off. I'd be like, "Ew, have some respect." Even though I
Yeah,
know it's
first
normal and
date.
everyone farts, everyone poops. I remember that book as a kid. It's called The Gatsby Pass. Brilliant. But
Yeah.
but I think that yeah, I think I'd be like, "Ew."
Yeah, no, first date's way too soon. And I've had to fart on first dates, you know? It
Oh,
happened,
yeah. You go to the
and, like,
bathroom.
you sit there yeah, or you just hold it for a while, and it's uncomfortable for a bit, but eventually it kinda, like, dissipates, or you just wait for the person to get up and, drop it.
Yeah. Or
However
I wait till we go outside from one bar to the next. And like I feel like when you're
yeah, hell
outside it's
yeah.
kind of safe, if it's,
And
especially if
every
it's like a
once in a
breezy
while,
day.
yeah, the breezy day. It
Yeah.
wasn't me, it was that guy. See, it's moving.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, though, you can trust your butt with it. You know what I mean? Like where you can say, okay, I know this will be a light fart. And the other side of it, sometimes it's like, oh, if I release this, they'll never speak to me again.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can gauge it. So in those lucky cases where I know it's on the low end, I've like let it rip, but it's like I've known like that's like where I'm 100% sure it's not gonna make a sound, and I can just like quietly do the little leg lift, like
I've done the leg lift myself.
yeah, everybody knows the leg lift.
But you know what though?
Like,
My pants are so tight sometimes that like when I do the leg lift, if there's a hole in my pants, it whistles. But I have to agree with Julie. I think
you know,
if you're
fart like a bird.
exclusive, yeah. I think if you're exclusive, it's okay to fart. Yeah, I think you know what? I I'm team Julie on this. I think yeah, I agree 100%. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I think that's a nice measure. I don't know if it's 2 months, 5 months, a year. I think once you're officially exclusive, it should be assumed that the other person may fart from time to time. That's life.
Totally. Totally.
Especially if they're healthy and they go to the gym a lot and they take protein, you can't help it. Like
Yeah,
I fart
hell
a
yeah.
lot with my protein.
I mean, does it feel comfortable for you? Now, if they're bombarding you and it's like fucking Hiroshima, then you have a problem
Yeah.
there. Maybe cut down on the beans, but so far it should be a healthy back and forth, because you're gonna want to fart too. So it goes both ways. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that was emails
Anyways.
from the listeners, and I know you guys. I don't know if you noticed that the last 2 weeks or so, the news theme has been very on time, and that's because Jimmy's on vacation.
Oh,
Yeah, he's visiting his grandma essentially.
in
So
in rehab?
no, not luckily. No, this is a voluntary trip. He's just gonna go hang out there, and it's kind of like you in high school. Except I think Jimmy's like 30, so it's a little sadder.
Oh. And I don't have an ankle monitor. So I'm glad he
That's
got
right.
permission from his parole officer.
So he will be back after Labor Day, but I have been enjoying performing on his only job function, which is hitting a button, because at least it gets done right. So, but he will be back, unfortunately, for those who've asked me. So please stop asking me about him. But anyways, we
I
have
don't for the record, I don't ask about him, so
yeah,
it's not
it's
me you're
never that
referring
female,
to. I'm not a
but we
fan.
don't really care where he's at. In fact, when he doesn't show up for work, it's like yes. But anywho, uh, for a crazy little news story for you, guys. This week, the headlines were wild with news about Lil Nas X, who we love, and not for a new single. No, no, no. Because early one morning in LA, Los Angeles, the rapper was spotted wandering Ventura Boulevard, wearing nothing but underwear, cowboy boots, and at one point, a traffic cone on his head. Okay, that was pretty funny. When police showed up, things got tense. Uh, doesn't shock me there. According to reports, he allegedly charged an officer and ended up booked on a misdemeanor battery charge, and before heading to jail, he was hospitalized with concerns of a possible overdose. The details are
Scary.
still developing. It's a scary situation for someone who's usually all about fun, spectacle, and pushing boundaries in music and fashion. He is now in custody, awaiting his court appearance, and fans everywhere are hoping he gets the help he needs, if so. And it's a reminder that behind the viral moments and chart topping hits, celebrities are human. And sometimes the spotlight catches them at their lowest. So, you know, Let's not be jerks. We don't know the full story yet. We got this story from People Magazine, and again, more details are coming. But
Well, this isn't the craziest thing that we've seen on Ventura Boulevard. You know what I mean? Like,
right, I
people are
was
like,
just
"Oh
saying,
my god,
LAPD
really, really?"
and the LAPD, I don't think they were just saying, "Oh, black guy, pull out the guns." So
Probably.
until they found out it was Lil Nas X, and then they didn't.
If I looked like him, I would be wearing panties and cowboy boots all day, every day.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
don't
my
think he was
go-to
wearing panties.
uniform.
I think he was panty free. I think the only covering he had was that cone head.
Oh,
Which
no, he had underwear.
oh, did he?
Underwear and cowboy boots. Like,
Oh
white
yeah,
underwear.
underwear,
It
cowboy
looked
boots.
almost
Right.
like a diaper, like, if you squint a bit.
Wow. That is very gross.
But you know what, though? Like, okay, so I know this drag queen that recently ate a brownie from someone in the audience,
Oh.
assuming it was like a pop brownie, just a bite. But it was an LSD laced brownie, and then she was like
Oh,
nutso. And I felt
no.
so bad for her, and like she held her composure pretty well, but she was like off her rocker, and I thought that's unfortunate, you know. And then people might
Mhm.
look at her and be like, "Oh, she's strung out." No, she just someone took advantage of her and thought they played a mean prank. But like,
They
does
told
does
her it was weed, or did she not ask?
you know? I don't really remember, but it wasn't. She wasn't told, "Hey, take a bite of this LSD brownie." And so I
Right.
guess my point is, you know, Little Nas X, maybe he took something willingly, or maybe he didn't know about it. Like, you never know. So I'm
Totally.
not gonna jump to conclusions that like he's got a problem. Okay, like he partied too hard one night. You
Totally.
know,
Totally. It's not like you hear about him
we've all
often.
been there.
That's why I hate when people jump to conclusions like, if you need help. So, yeah, man, sometimes we all have a bad night where we do some shit and it's stupid. So, see how it goes. Now, if this becomes a weekly thing, then sure, ask the guy if he needs some help. But I totally agree. Well, let's see what more developments come out of this. And yeah, don't eat random brownies from people. At least found out what's in them. But, ugh, I can't really make it an LSD brownie either. That's fucking dumb. Just eat the fucking acid. Like, that's stupid. Like, with weed, it makes sense. But with acid, like, what are you doing, dude? Just put the piece of paper in your mouth and suck on it like a normal person.
I did
Anyway.
that at a house yes one time. Put like a box top there. They said, "Put this in your mouth and chew on it." This like cardboard box top. I said, "Okay." And my friend was like, "That's acid." I said, "Oh my god, did I do drugs?" Like, I think you did. I don't know. I'll put anything in my mouth after a few drinks.
That's right.
That's why my nickname in high school was Boston Cream. Okay, so I think you have one more story for us.
Yes, we do, but this one is not the news story. It's not the drag queens because let myself go too deep there. We got another good one here, and shout out to the good people at Third Reich Watch, which we not Third Reich Watch, Reich Wing Watch, Third Reich Watch. Sounds like the Hitler CNN network.
Yeah.
All day news network. The Jews are controlling the weather. Today might be rainy. Okay, now for the economy. The Jews are controlling the economy. We have no money. Yeah, this is Right Wing Watch. Who I have to say, I love these guys because they constantly are putting out these assholes. So if you want to keep an eye out on all the jerks in the world doing awful things, give them a follow on Instagram. It's a good little source. But anyways, once again, let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, frat chatters of all ages. It's not the drag queens you got to worry about. Case in point, a Las Vegas sting operation. Oh yeah, a Las Vegas sting operation just took down 8 alleged child predators, including, wait for it, a pastor. We always knew. His name is Neil Harrison Creasy, not creepy, kind of creepy, very creasy. He's 46 years old of Redemption Church, and he thought he was meeting up with a 14-year-old boy, but instead he was met by the cops, who took his ass down, where he then admitted what he was doing, apologized on the spot. However, he wasn't the only one. The sting also nabbed a senior Israeli cybersecurity official. Yeah, the guy in charge of protecting people online, trying to hook up with who he thought was a 15-year-old girl. So, no, it's not the drag queens in glitters and heels reading the fucking books that are the danger here. It's the goddamn pastors. It's the goddamn government officials getting caught in the act. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, just remember that the call is coming from inside the house. And it's
So
not the queens.
I want to know, did these guys get in trouble, or was this pastor's relocated to a new church in Nebraska?
Yeah, right. Well, in this particular case, I don't think that there's anything that they can do because he was arrested. So, uh, and he is facing one felony count, as opposed to this is where if the parents like complain directly to the church, and then the church just does what it wants and relocates the pastor. In this case, the cops basically caught him in the act. So that's a whole different take. So I think this man's going to jail. I don't think any relocations happening here. Now, if he doesn't end up going to jail, then the first thing the church is going to do is relocate him somewhere. But I feel like he still has to register as a sex offender if he doesn't face jail time. Depends on the penalty, but it seems like a pretty open and shut case here. If he was meeting up with what he thought was a 14-year-old. So,
Horrible.
yeah.
Horrible. I think that it's really scary to know that people in positions of power, whether it's a church or like cybersecurity, use this power to like it's just horrible to mess with kids. I feel like when I was younger, I was always told, like by my grandma, if if you need a place to go to the church or find someone in uniform or the case. But now it's like you can't trust anybody. We
Mm.
know a cop that got busted for trying to hook up with a underage girl. Like what?
Yeah, buddy.
It's crazy. It's just so
Yeah,
sad
buddy.
to me.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy to me too that people do shit like that. And it's wild too. It's like, dude, you're supposed to be a fucking cop or a priest. You're supposed to, it's always the people who are supposed to be the example who are doing the worst things out there.
Took a
So,
vow to like help people, not
yeah.
help yourself to their panties.
Mm-hmm. Fucking
You know what I was
creep.
thinking the other day? Okay, so I don't know. I'm a I'm a bad Sunday school graduate. So I'm trying to think of the Ten Commandments. I could be wrong, but you know how like some states now they're like you have to put the Ten Commandments in the classroom, which I think is
Yeah.
so inappropriate that I
Stupid.
think that like not everyone that goes to school is identifies as Christian. Maybe they're atheist or Jewish or Muslim or maybe Hindu, who knows? But I guess my point is that like I remember the first couple commandments weren't like had no bearing on like good deeds in the sense that I think thou shalt not kill might be like number 4. But one of the first ones is like you can't believe in any other god but me. So it almost sounds a little like egotistical for God to be like, before we get into like all the rules, rule number 1, whatever
You're
I
my
say is everything that matters in the world, and you can't listen to anyone else but me. Okay?
and I
And then
call
you go
you
down
my
a yeah, and then you go down a few, and it's like, oh, by the way, don't kill people. That's not nice. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
that
so,
should not kills number 5. So it's like
yeah,
halfway down the list of 10.
it's crazy to me. So part of me is like, you can be influenced by like the Ten Commandments and put up some rules and say, hey guys, like, don't shoot people in school, and don't steal and don't
Yeah.
lie and listen
Yeah,
to your
don't
mommy
bring
and
a fucking
daddy.
AK.
That's okay, but it's just like so twisted to me.
Yeah. No, I will say the 10 commandments are part of one of the funniest jokes I've seen in older movies and modern movies, but in Mel Brooks's History of the World, the original, when when the guy comes out, I have here the 20 commandments, and he drops a tablet and it like breaks 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's so good. And I need to see the second one too. I was trying to catch Julie up on the love of the first one, and I don't think that one was for her.
I gotta rewatch that.
Yes, but the second one came out on Hulu like last year, and I still haven't seen it, but I need to. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is time to get to this week's topic because we got a good one for you. We got a great one for you. But let's get real. Breakups are never easy. You know, whether you're the one doing it, or you're the one getting dumped, there's usually some hurt feelings involved. However, every once in a while, the person doing the dumping makes things way easier because the reason is so ridiculous, so over the top petty that you just can't help from hating the way someone chooses to breaking up because of a text emoji. These are the kind of breakup reasons that don't just end a relationship, they become stories you tell at a party for the rest of your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, frat chatters only, we're going to give you the top 10 pettiest breakup reasons brought to you by the Frat Chat Podcast. Oh, and this topic is so good.
Yeah.
It's so petty. It's just all so petty. It might give you some ideas. So, if you want to be a bit of a dick, pull these out. You're dating a bit of a dick. But yeah, we got a good one. This is a great topic. I'm so excited for it. But anywho, why don't you start us off this week, Mr. Mo?
Okay, so I'm just talking from personal experience, but like, wait, you know how like if you're a new parent, uh, you're so obsessed with your kid, and you should be, but like not everyone thinks your kid is as cute as you think your kid is. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
like
right.
so like I've dated people in
Me
the
and Fallon,
past.
and
Yeah,
everybody thinks she's very cute, but
she's very
I
cute,
see tons
objectively
of
cute.
babies. I'm like, ooh,
But I know someone who has a hairless like Rex cat, and he's like, "Isn't she beautiful?" No,
ooh.
it's creepy.
Yeah, no.
So I think that s sometimes um people may have annoying pets,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually dated someone who had this dog. Rest in peace, the dog died. But the dog like wasn't very cute, overly yappy, had like crazy separation anxiety. So like if he were to leave his apartment, the dog would just bark until he came home. And the
Wow.
neighbors would complain and he'd be like, "What heartless neighbors. Like
Oh,
it's
dude,
a
you're
puppy." I'm
annoying.
like, "No, they're not heartless because it's very loud." And there are things you could do. You could put like a bark collar that like squirts things, or you can try it. Maybe I don't know. Take your dog to training, or try I don't
Yeah,
know, like
take it
puppy
to
therapy. I don't know
doggy
something.
daycare to
Yeah,
spend some energy, or walk it more so it's tired. There's like many things you can do.
yeah, like Prozac. I mean, they have like antidepressants for dogs, but
Yeah, they
the
do.
dog was so annoying. I remember actually one time, like I was like pounding the bussy, and he's like, "Is everything okay?" Because my dick went soft, and I was like, "Your dog's licking my feet." He's like, "Oh, it's okay." It's like,
Oh,
"No, not really. Like, I don't want
oh,
to. I feel weird with a dog in bed as we're doing the dirty, and I almost feel like he's part of it, and that's illegal. So like, I don't want anything to do. And so because of his bond with this dog, I really think that it affected our relationship because I always knew that the dog's always gonna come first. If we really hit things off
oh,
and
literally.
got married and had kids, the kids and I would be runner up to this yappy, annoying, ugly dog that he was obsessed with. And like he also was like the dog would just be growling and like snarling, barking at me. He's like, "Oh, he wants you to say hi." I'm not touching him because he smells. It has it's
And the
weird.
dog always comes first. He would watch you guys, babe.
But but we didn't work out I was thinking about letting him go. He actually broke things off with me, and I was like, thank God it saved me the conversation. And I played sad. Oh, really? I wish it worked out, but okay, I understand. And I walked up the hallway like, yes. But
Yeah.
but the dog ruined it for me. And so I do think people have some weird pets sometimes, and like I don't know, it's a little bit of a turn. If it's a cute pet, sure. If you're not like super obsessed with it, that's fine. Like but the, okay, so I interviewed someone for my job recently who unprompted just grabbed his cat out of the windowsill. They got up from like the screen, grabbed this cat, came back, and was like caressing the cat in like a weird fashion. It almost seemed like the cat was like a security blanket. And then he rerouted the narrative to talk about his cat. And I was asking about experience in the field and like, whatever. And I thought, this is really weird that you've incorporated your cat into your professional interview and you don't find an issue with this. Sometimes pets can like really um I don't know, they can really sabotage a relationship. I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
here's the thing. If you have an annoying pet, it's because you're an annoying owner. And that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like pets absorb all the best and all the worst features of their owners. So if you have an asshole pet, it's because you're a piece of shit. It's just the way it is. So yeah, like I get it, and I've been there. Like was hooking up when I was a freshman in college with this girl who was older. She was like a junior or senior or something. So I felt super cool, you know. And then once I was over there, her apartment, she had this little dog who was actually very sweet, but the dog needed to be everywhere she was, and it was like a little much, you know. And at one
Yeah.
time, she was doing a little favor for me down below, and
Oh, what kind of favor?
she was
Tying your shoes?
just clipping my toenails, yes.
Oh, nice, nice.
Uh,
Hope she swallowed
anyways,
those toenails.
that's right. So she's down there, and I'm like, "Okay, this is good stuff." And all of a sudden, I feel another tongue on, like, my ball area, and I look down, and it's the dog, and I'm like, "No, get out of here!" Like, "What the fuck?" Uh,
Well, be
and
thankful the dog didn't bite your balls.
yeah, right? But as she's trying to do this thing, the dog kept coming back, and she's, like, pushing him off with one hand while, taking care of me, and I'm like, "This is too fucking weird," and I think that was the last time we hooked up. So, I kinda get it. Some pets might make things weird, but it always comes down to the owner. So, uh, it was probably a good thing that you avoided, staying with this dude if you made such an annoying dog like this. Meanwhile, this girl, the dog was great in every other aspect. This was kind of strange, but so she at least did a good job raising it, minus that part. But yeah, annoying people make annoying pets.
You know,
So
I also make it very clear to our listeners that it's okay to have pets. Like, I love pets. I love animals. So if you have an animal, sometimes I think to myself, oh, that's like actually a bonus in my book because if you like animals, you're probably a nice person. But when the animal is annoying and becomes part of your personality, I think that's a red flag. I actually have a friend who used to date this guy. He had a studio and he shared a studio with a parrot. And so
oh,
at night, he would put this like sheet over the cage,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
parrot would still like say things and like repeat like things he would hear like during sexy time
Yeah,
or like
totally.
give commentary on like the things he's hearing. And I thought to myself, like, I don't know how my friend dealt with that because I'd be like, this is too weird. Like I feel like I'm
It
not
is
a
kind of weird.
voyeur, like
It
or
feels
I'm
like a
not an
ghost.
exhibitionist. I don't want commentary on what I'm doing. It's just creepy.
I
I'm like,
know a
oh,
comedian whose mom has a parrot in the house, and it was the same thing. And it like honestly kind of feels like a ghost the first time you're sleeping around because you hear like a voice like "You're a dick." Whoa, what the fuck? Where did that come from? It's 3 in the morning. All of a
yeah,
sudden, you're gonna go to sleep again. You're a dick. Oh, so yeah, it can be very weird.
yeah.
But yes, on to the next one, and this is my turn over here. And this one actually came from a Redditor, the username Basketeer over here. Funny. And he goes,
Basketeer over
oh,
here.
Yeah, basketeer over here. And here's the thing: sometimes a game of Jenga reveals more than your hand-eye coordination. It reveals the soul. That's why, like Redditor Basketeer over here shared that he broke up with his girlfriend because during Jenga, he goes, "We were playing Jenga, and I noticed that she only drew from the middle, and it made me feel like she was timid and boring." Wow. So he dumped her. So, I mean, I guess on the other side of it, imagine sitting across from someone who treats a tower of wood like it's a life or death political negotiation. Every block she touched was safe, every potential adventure avoided. You try to spark a little thrill, a risky move, and then she's just like, nah, play it safe. So apparently, this Jenga behavior wasn't just a board game preference, it was a metaphor for life choices. Safe, cautious, and utterly boring. And for him, that was enough to say goodbye. Honestly, who knew a stack of 54 wooden rectangles could end a fucking relationship? So the takeaway: never underestimate the power of mid Jenga fear. Apparently, it's a deal breaker in 2025. But what the fuck? Breaking up over a Jenga game.
Do you know, I so in theater they would say like how you do anything is how you do everything. And so like there's a lot of like introspective, like, self evaluation type, you know, exercises that really help you become a better actor, because if you can understand yourself better, then maybe you can portray someone else with more honesty. So I
Yeah.
um I do believe in that sometimes. So for example, if um if you have a coworker with a really messy desk, I think it's pretty safe to assume that their house is probably equally as messy. Their room's probably
Yeah.
messy, like, so I think if someone, if it's just a game, it's just a game, there's no high stakes, it's just a game you're having fun, but you're unwilling to take a risk, that could, translate into other things potentially. I,
I
I
mean, that's
think it,
fair.
I would need more examples of this. I wouldn't just dump someone because of their Jenga game. But maybe there's other factors. Maybe she was so scared to knock it over because she doesn't like attention and it was a busy bar. I don't know. But I guess it's
Totally.
loud when it falls. Who knows? But I do think that's a little extreme. I think he's on to something, but you need more examples than just one Jenga game.
Yeah. Like, it's like, come on, dude. You gotta do a little better than that, brother. It's like, I feel like at this point, he just wanted to dump her and needed an excuse. And they said Jenga. Oh, yeah. Jenga is how you play life. But because I could see if there was like every board game she played or every type of game she played, she was like fucking annoying in. But come on, Jenga, it's like if you don't play Jenga a lot, why the fuck would you be making the risky moves? I've played it maybe like 5 times in my life. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna play it, I'm probably gonna be that girl too, just because I'll make the safe moves because I want to keep fucking playing. I don't want to lose. That's the point of the game. You want to stay in
Yeah.
it. So, taking unnecessary risk in Jenga is kind of stupid. So I'm with her. If anything, I'd go for the fucking middle ones and let you. You want to set it up so the person that you're playing against has to make the stupid moves. That's literally the strategy. So I don't know. I think he's being basketeer over here. Needs to uh, go learn some game strategy, and he's going to be basketeering over there by himself with some hand lotion in the meantime. He's dumping people
Uh-huh.
over Jenga games. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Fair.
But anyways, what you got next?
Next up, I got well, we received a comment from someone in Pennsylvania. Her name is Jessica. So Jessica
Yes.
was talking about generic bath products. So I think
Mhm.
like
And I have
in
to say, sorry to interrupt, but this topic was inspired mostly by you guys because we got a couple of, emails from the listeners over the months that have been people who we've been like, this is petty as shit. So we decided to see if we could get enough of them that we could turn this into a topic after a while. Let's do it. So emails like this inspired today's topic. And then we ended up researching the rest and stuff. But just note, that you guys have literally influenced the direction of the show. So thank you. But anyways, go on.
well, I think generic bath products is okay if you're like in college on a budget, like working to put yourself through college and, you might get Walgreens branded, soap or whatever. But she wrote, my ex-boyfriend, he
Oh.
probably had generic bath products. She said, my ex-boyfriend was a young professional who boasted about his career, the parties, and his income, which is very tacky, in my opinion. Uh, I don't care about any of that, but it was quite the juxtaposition to find Walmart brand body wash and hand soap in his bathroom when he claimed to only wear designer suits and designer cologne. I'm sorry, but young professionals need to upgrade their toiletries before they upgrade their wardrobe. This is a red flag and a major contributing factor in our breakup. Jessica,
Wow.
I don't disagree because if I think that there's a lot of I don't want to make fun of the gay community. I'm not saying everyone's like this, but there are a lot of gays who are a little bougie, and gays on average don't have um kids. Now, some do, but most of them
Mhm.
don't, and a lot of gays can be pretty uh um they're professional and they have a lot of times they have good jobs and so they have a lot of extra income and they spend the income on like designer clothing and things like that and they try to pose as if they're this like this heightened sense of self and they are these wannabe socialites. If I go to their house and they've got like Walgreens branded body wash, I'd be like, wait a second, like it is a little I agree with this. I think that when you get older, you should really like invest in yourself before you invest in things that make people think you invest in yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because you're a poser if you're
Yeah.
only investing in things that other people see. But what people don't see, you should invest in that
Totally.
too. So I agree with this.
Totally. I do think, in a way, in a very petty way, Jessica from Pennsylvania has is a good bullshit sniffer. You know what I mean? When you figure out
Yeah.
when someone is full of
Oh
shit,
yeah.
essentially. And he's a young professional. She doesn't really list his career, but basing on the fact that he's boasting about his career, the parties, and quote unquote
Finance
his
bro.
income. Uh, yeah, exactly. I was gonna go. He's definitely a finance bro of some sort.
Yeah.
That these finance bros. No offense to you guys, but this has you written all over it. And a lot of them are full of shit because it's like Simo says, they invest in only what you see in order so they can propagate the illusion that they're worth more than they are. So then you'll invest in them and do business with them and all that bullshit. But ultimately, it's a facade. And some of them are bajillionaires and shit. And then you'll go to their house and they'll see that everything is the finest. But yeah, if the guy has a nice car and a shitty apartment and shitty toiletries and shitty everything, chances are he's full of shit about his income. So in a way, I think she did right. And he does sound like a cocky prick, but God, dumping someone over soap is petty.
You know
I do
what?
not give a fuck what you use. Good lord. But I wouldn't date someone who's like such a like boasting piece of shit either, you know?
I
So
have a quick story, and that is when I was in Chicago in my early 20s. I remember I was at the bar by myself. I didn't have any friends, and these like older gays were like, "Where's your friends?" And I'm like, "I don't have any." So they like kind of like whispered amongst themselves, and then they were like, "We're actually going to a party this weekend. Would you like to come with us? Maybe you'll meet some friends." And
Oh, that's so sad.
I I just moved there and like, to be honest, in the gay community, it's hard to make friends because if you're nice to someone, then they misconstrue that for affection. And also, people they're like, "Oh, like where do you live? What do you do? Like who you know?" Is they're trying to gauge like your status. Like, is this someone I
totally,
want to fuck with? Do they make good money? Do they live
totally.
in a fancy place or do they rub elbows with cool people? If not, then like I don't want them bringing me down. Like it was very
Right. Can't
clicky.
sit
I,
with us,
I
bro.
felt yeah. So these guys were so nice, and I mean, I I I'm not gonna lie. At the time, I had like a modeling career, and I had long, beautiful hair, and um I was really successful in my own right. So if I didn't have that, I don't think that they would have paid me any attention, to be honest. But they invited me to this party, and I went out and bought a fancy outfit. I was like, oh, I wanna look nice for that because they were so fancy. And when I get to this house party, um, we all had like boots on. I had nice boots on, and then they were like, take your boots off at the door. And I was like, uh-oh, because everyone had like really fancy, like bougie socks, and I had just like white gym socks on. And I feel like
Oh,
everyone that I spoke with, they looked me up and down and were like, ooh. So like everything from like my ankles up made sense. But like from ankles down, people were like, oh. And it was like it deviated away from like the impression I was trying to give. And I was like, wow, like I'm getting judged so hard on these gym socks. And like, yeah, I can even like see like corner of my eye, people being like, take a look at that. It's like,
oh my
wow.
god.
But
I
but
would have
that's
been so much worse than you though. Like sometimes my socks aren't even matching. I just like I have a drawer of the socks that I've matched, and I have a drawer of the socks that I haven't found the other pair for. And sometimes when the ones on the top run out, I'm like, fuck it, white and white, you're good, and I use it. So
I think that the socks that don't match, you should throw away and put socks on your registry for your wedding.
the
As
thing
you're
is,
approaching 40, you got to get rid of the mismatched socks.
there is, and I'll use them to gym a lot, I have to say. So it's like then I can just, one time use them. But there is a thing. I don't know what the fuck happens when you put in 10 pairs of socks and 9.5 come out every goddamn time. And I'm like, I can't let go of a good sock. They haven't lived a full lifespan.
Yeah.
Now if they get holy and stuff, then I dispose of them. But if the sock still looks nice, I'm like, I can't get rid of you. Or sometimes it's like, when you do a load of laundry, the other pair gets mixed in there and it's still in the hamper. You got to find it. So, you gotta give them a chance. I'm
Yeah.
loyal, I'm loyal.
But can you imagine if you worked at a laundromat and you're washing and folding someone's clothes and they
Oh
have all
God, I
these
can
like
imagine.
and they have all these
No.
like mixed match socks and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't know how they do it at laundromats. That's I've never thought about that, but yeah, the
Ugh, I can't think
socks.
of a worse job. I don't want to fold some like old crusty guys like stained like
It's
skid
tiny
mark
whitey,
stained tidy
and you
whities and
couldn't get
like
the shit stain
holy
out of.
socks and like pit stained shirts. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough, dude. That's tough. I don't
'Cause I
know.
would
That's
be like, listen, I think it's time for you to invest in some new panties, or your shirts have holes in them, or come on, like you're better than this. I would say stuff like, what is going on? Why are we washing this? Will never look clean.
yeah, just leave
Replace
a
it.
Post-it note. Oh, there's a way.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, what's
anyways,
next for
yeah,
you?
my number 4 is also an emails from the listeners, like we said, that inspired this topic. This one is Tyler from New Jersey. He wrote, "Hey, frat chat bros, love the show. Y'all keep cracking me up in my miserable morning commute." Oh, well, that's nice. So here's my question: am I the asshole, or did I just save myself years of silent rage? I
You're the
broke up with my
asshole. You live in
girlfriend.
Jersey.
Yeah, you're probably the asshole
Next.
here.
Just
Roll the
kidding.
credits. We'll see you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Anyways, he goes, I broke up with my girlfriend in 3 months because, wait for it, she clapped every time a plane landed.
No.
Like,
No.
like we're on Spirit Airlines and she thinks she's in the audience for Hamilton. It wasn't
Oh
just one
man.
enthusiastic clap either. It was a full, proud round of applause, like the pilot personally cured polio. The first time it happened, I thought it was a joke. The second time, I was like, okay, she's quirky. The third time, I started picturing our honeymoon flight and me filing for divorce somewhere over the Pacific. I couldn't unsee it. So I ended it. And now my friends think I'm a monster. But I need to know, did I overreact or was that a red flag with wings? Appreciate your thoughts and keep doing the Lord's work, fellas. Tyler M. from New Jersey. Wow. I guess it depends on how often you fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're flying every week and you have to hear this bitch clap all the goddamn time, it might get annoying. But if you're flying like twice a year, like, overall, it is very petty. And I don't know if you even voiced to her, like, hey, I think the clapping is fucking annoying. Can you please not do it? And go from there as well. But yeah, I think overall it depends on how often you fly. What about you?
Well, I also think this is similar to like you might be onto something. I think is a little like impulsive, just to for this to be the only reason to get rid the you know
Yeah.
from someone. But I do think that like some okay. Um, the first the first date I went on with Clay Aiken,
Oh.
I felt that he was performative at this restaurant. And
Oh.
I didn't know if he was just talking to me or talking to everyone. And like he was very he's super charismatic. He's very funny. So like I I'm sure that everyone else around him were enjoying his commentary and the staff loved him and he was so nice. But I wanted his undivided attention. I wanted to ask questions
Right.
about me. The first date wasn't great, and then he's like, I remember leaving and he's like, "Did you have fun?" And I was like, "I don't know. Tell me three things you learned about me." And he couldn't. And then he was like, "Okay, I understand. Like
Mm.
next time." So anyway, my point is that I do find it annoying when like your significant other is performative, for everyone. It's like, okay, can we just have a moment? Like if they're going on a trip and it's just a getaway for the two of them and like she's trying to like I don't know if she's sucking up to the crew or trying to be funny for the rest of the passengers, but it's like, can we just keep it between like why do you have to involve every like this is so performative. It's just weird to
Right.
me, you know?
Right. I will say, for example, I used to fly all the time as a kid, and for some reason, I hit a certain age where I got a deadly fear of heights. I don't know what the fuck happened. So now I don't love flying as much anymore. And like get a little nervous sometimes. So it's not like I'm a clapper at all when the plane lands. I'm I find them annoying, but I could see someone with an even more extreme fear of heights than I can than at me because mine's at like an 8, but there's people that I know have it way worse. That might be terrifying to fly, and maybe it makes them feel a little better, and it releases some of that anxiety to do a little clap. So I don't judge them too hard, but I feel like the things you said, for example, it's like, yeah, if this person's performing it while around, but if this is the only thing they do, then that's
Yeah,
petty as shit.
that is petty.
Like if that's it, like and now if they're performative in every other aspect of their life, then yes, I get it. But if literally this guy, Tyler over here, is not saying that, they're saying that this is what they do. This is the thing that annoyed them. This is the thing that was the deal breaker that they could not take. And to me, that's like insane. Like what? I'm like, how are you Taylor Swift? How much do you fly? Like, what? You can probably put up at least say something. Like I don't know. That's on you, dude. That's on him.
Sometimes I think that like when a relationship fizzles out, sometimes people get what I call the ick. You ever heard this
Yeah.
before, the ick?
I
And
was
so like
talking
maybe,
about the ick yesterday with
you know,
Julie.
so Tyler, maybe you had the ick and you're just looking for an excuse and sometimes you don't need an excuse. You just have the
Yeah,
ick. The chemistry is gone, you
totally.
gotta keep it moving. So like it's
And
like
I
I don't think
think
it's
that's the case here.
that
He
might be
got
the
the ick.
case. Yeah.
Totally. And that is petty as shit to dump someone, but I think the ick is a play here. It's funny. You're talking about the world. The world is interesting. We literally just had a whole conversation with Julie about the ick last night.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
It's a real
It's a
thing. It
real
really
thing.
is. You just like you hit the egg, and there's nothing you can do. You can't look at the person the same again, and they can be super attractive, everything, but like it's ruined. It's done. Ugh, you got the ick.
Well, my next one, I think I wrote this one. I judge people on their taste in music. And so like I remember I dated someone, we had lived together. This was a long time ago. And he was an opera singer. He loved opera. Nothing is more boring to me than listening to like I want something I can dance to. I want something that's gonna motivate me. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
these opera tunes, I'm not saying they're not talented. An opera singer is like an artist.
Figaro.
Yeah, they're like artistic Olympians. They're vocal athletes. So good for them. It's just not
Totally.
my personal taste. So I remember like driving places and like really fighting over the radio or like our CD player. It was before this was when we had like tapes and CDs in our cars. But
Eight track.
I remember being like, I remember saying, okay, listen, like, if you listen to opera for an hour, then can I listen to like Britney and Christina Aguilera for an hour? Like, can we have like you listen to 3 songs, I listen to 3 songs? But when you have to bargain like that, like, they may not be the one for you. So like I'll say that like I learned about some cool Brazilian artists from my husband. So like there are some music that I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. And so sometimes a partner will like elevate your taste in music. But then sometimes you might come across someone who is like obsessed with like the symphony, and like I'm not saying it's not beautiful, but like I don't want to hear that like in the morning when I'm prepping for my day, when I'm trying to get amped up. Like I listened to Beethoven in school. It was an assignment. I don't want to listen to it like for
I
fun.
will I will say in my playlist, there's a couple of classical songs that are hidden in there, and I only listen by myself, to myself, when I need a moment that I don't even think Julia's ever heard me play, because it's literally, like, in the depths of my playlist, but those are, like, for me. Um, it's, like, relaxes me, you know what I mean? And sometimes when I'm having anxiety, something can make you feel good, or if you're feeling a little emotional, you need to let out a good cry. There's some of that type of music that's really effective for that. But yeah, all day, every day, like fuck, dude, that sounds awful. Like you need some variety in your life. Like if anything, my playlist is too varied. Like I don't have a playlist for like rock, one for rap. Like it's all well, my playlist is one giant playlist with everything mishmashed in there that I like. So like one song, it can be Metallica, the first one, and then the next thing will fucking be Christina Aguilera. You know what I mean? Like it's like I like my music to jump from thing to thing, so then I don't get used to the sound, and it's always it's still things that make me feel good, but it goes up and down, as opposed to just like always up, because then you get accustomed to that shit. With that being said, if you have to, like, I think the three song makes sense. Like me and Julie are even building our own like mixed playlist where it'll be one song from each, and once so I can jump back and forth, and no one can bitch.
I'm
Uh,
sure you probably like a lot of her music, and she likes a lot of your music. There's probably a lot of overlap.
There's a little overlap.
There's
There's
a
a
little
little
overlap.
overlap, but we don't fight about it, because we at the end of the day, we don't really give that much of a shit. Like when it becomes a big fight, then it's like, I agree. You don't want, especially because music is something that's very particular to people. So if you have to fight about your music choices, that means it's going to lead to fighting down the road. Whereas watching TV, whether it's who wants to eat what, who wants to live wherever, who wants to vacation wherever, it'll be those arguments will keep compounding and getting bigger and bigger. So it won't just be about the music; it'll be about something else. So while in a way, I think it is petty uh, to dump someone over their music choices. If someone's like a music Nazi, I don't think it's too petty. I think it's the right thing. We'll say, "Fuck you, dude. Learn to share, buddy."
I dated this older guy when I was in Chicago. I was like 22, and he was 40.
Ooh.
But he told me he was a lot younger, and then after a few dates, he was like, "Okay, I have to be honest." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was wondering because whenever we hung out,
Why were your
like for
balls so long? Now I get it.
yeah, so at his apartment, he only listened to like the music my mom and dad listened to.
Oh
And
yeah.
he would always be like, "Oh, have you heard of this person?" But it sounded very reminiscent of like my dad growing up in the car being like, "Do you know Crosby, Stills and Nash?
All
Listen to
right.
this. Like this is music." But I remember being like, "Okay, this is." I thought I can get past the age difference, but I don't think I can. Um,
Totally.
so I do
Totally.
think taste in music, taste in movies and shows, and that's all. It's all kind of like in the same realm, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm with you.
Anyway, what's next on your list?
On to the next one. So, this one back to a Redditor. Uh, Redditor, I say, which I like. It's, so, have you ever realized you're dating the human version of Google Maps, but like in the really unhelpful way? Because this is what happened to Redditor, I say, when they shared that he had to break up with a girl because she would, I quote, constantly say the names of the stores we passed by while driving. Like, you'd be mid conversation, we'd be talking about your future, and she just casually cut in with Bed Bath and Beyond, Chipotle, TJ Maxx, like a bored Siri with no filter. you're, you're out here trying to connect emotionally, and she's narrating a goddamn strip mall tour like you're a fucking sightseeing bus. This is not a date. This is a real time inventory check, bitch. What are you doing? Some people whisper sweet nothings. Others whisper Office Depot. I mean, that's petty,
Do you
but
think she had
that's so
Tourette's?
annoying.
Maybe she
Yeah,
had a
like
problem.
that's like some severe OCD or something.
Yeah, that's not normal. She has a problem. That's bad.
I can't imagine driving through, especially like, New York and Jersey. There's a fuck ton of stores and everywhere you look. That's gotta be so fucking annoying.
It sounds like Tourette's. Okay, so
Oh my god.
when I was in college, I worked at Guess Jeans, and there's this girl named Tiffany, and she had Tourette's, I think. No one talked about it, but it wasn't like fuck this, fuck that, you mother. It wasn't like that. She just had this like a couple interesting ticks, and she would always like in mid sentence just go gay, and so she would say, like people walk in, hey guys, welcome gay to Guess. Our promotions today are going to be half off denim, gay, and also, but it was just so like a little off-putting to me. But she can't help it, But I remember just watching people's reactions and being like, maybe she shouldn't be a greeter. Maybe she should be like in the fitting rooms or not in
To
the
be
front.
fair, it's very attention grabbing. You know what I mean? If you have all the
Yeah.
choices at the mall, all those greeters, I'm gonna go check out the one screaming gay. I'm at least gonna give it a double take. What?
So I was like, okay, well, what can you do?
Oh my god, those jeans look so gay. Wonderful on you. Oh my god. Yeah, I think in this case, I don't know if you should have broken up with her as much as like maybe try to address the problem here, but there's definitely something going on here.
When I was younger, I was diagnosed with the OCD because I was like making myself crazy and doing things in fives. Like I would dip my
Oh.
spoon into my cereal and I would count the number of Cheerios on my spoon. If it was
Oh.
a multiple of 5 or the number, if the digits added to 5, it was like 14. Oh, that's okay because 1 plus 4 is 5. Like I was crazy about it. And so I would dip and like evaluate and dip and okay, that's a multiple of 5. Okay, I can eat this one. But like everything took forever. And so
Oh.
like finally my doctor was like, this is not normal behavior. And so I got put on some medicine and like it helped and therapy and like I don't do things like that anymore. So like maybe this is the wake up call she needed, you know?
Totally. Totally. Now, I do think he should like said something. Again, a lot of these I feel like if you say something half of the time, maybe the pettiness won't have to come in later. But like, did you ever try addressing it? I say. Because man, like I would be like after like the fifth store, I'd be like, are you serious? Is this like a thing? Like, is this what you do? Like, I need
I
to.
think that he should have retaliated by reading all the street signs.
I agree. If so, like you want to be annoying, I'll do that. I'll do that. That sounds great. Or read all the license plates on the cars,
Yeah.
specifically when she's talking too.
Yeah.
Just wait. She's you have to say Bed Bath and XC. Cut that bitch off.
Yeah.
Get the store name in
Or
there.
you could be like, hey babe, tell me about your day. And she's like, oh, well, today at work. I'm sorry, wait. What was the last mile marker? I need to know. Okay, thanks. Whew.
Toyota Camry.
I lost count for a second.
Wait, go on. What were you saying?
Exactly.
Chevy Corvette. Sorry. So no, I'm listening. I swear. I'm paying attention. Yeah, no, that would get old. You have to address that. Like at what point do you really just
She
move
has
on?
Sportage!
You gotta do something, dude. So that's on you. And again, yeah, maybe hopefully that was a wake up call to see what the root of that is. But you got to ask, bro. That's also on the dumpy.
No, her next boyfriend, she's gonna say, I don't know, I maybe I have some baggage or some shit to work through because I don't know why I keep getting dumped. And they're in the car, and he's like, I might have an idea.
Yeah.
I
I
think.
think I know. Bitch, you sound like a sponsored ad. Like, come on. But anyhow,
Anyway, next
what you
up,
got?
I
You got
have
two
okay.
left.
So we talked about this fairly recently, but I still think that this is valid. As I get older, I value my sleep so much. And so
Yeah,
I
eat
think
it.
that like in a relationship, you have to have the balls to tell someone like, can you not hang all over me because it's too hot and like you ever
Totally.
it's okay to snuggle for a little bit, but then like if you're not getting quality sleep because you have a sweaty person breathing like on you, I think it's okay to be like, sorry, I need you to roll over.
Totally. Or
So I think
sometimes
it's fair.
Julie's head weighs like 38 pounds on my arm, and I'm like, and
Yeah,
it goes to
yeah.
sleep.
Oh,
So I gotta just
100%.
get off.
But snoring is such an issue for me. So like if someone is such a heavy snorer, I just don't think it can work. You
Yeah,
shouldn't have to sleep in a separate room or on the couch. I think that there are so many advancements in like modern medicine. You have breathe right strips, or there's I don't know, there's different like instruments here and there that can maybe help alleviate some of the snoring symptoms. But if you are a chronic snorer, you're really affecting someone's sleep, and when their sleep's affected, then you're affecting their health. So like I think that we give a pass to snorers, so they can't help it. No, I think at this day and age they can at least try, you know. So
yeah, totally.
um yeah, I think that's such a huge. I know it sounds petty, but like if I was to create a new dating profile, it would be like these are the things I won't tolerate. You know,
And
um,
honestly, even I
snoring.
found out for a while that I was snoring like a year ago, and I never did used to snore like that. Like I had a little snore, like a normal little, but not like. And so I figured, what the hell is the root? And that's around the time where I started getting back in shape too. So that helped things. But I realized that when I sleep completely flat, sometimes like the way that my neck is, it kind of cuts off a little bit of my breathing, and so that's why
Oh, me
you
too.
struggle
On my
to.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, so then I bought what they call a husband or a boyfriend pillow or whatever,
Of
and then
course you
I
did,
put a couple pillows
faggot.
there. Yeah. I named him George, and he holds me every night. But
Yeah.
I basically made like a little elevation, so it made me think of like hospital beds, because in hospital beds, when people can't breathe that well, they would usually elevate them a little bit, so then it opens up the thing. So I realized, let me do the same thing here. It's the same principle. So I did that, and I sleep way better. Like, and now I don't snore. And I asked Julie actually, like this week, I was talking to her, and it's like, when you wake up before me, am I snoring? Like, do you hear like is it better? And she said, yeah, I don't really hear anything anymore. So this is like a normal little tiny snore, which is good. But because I would wake up also tired when you snore a lot. That means you're not breathing as well, so your brain doesn't get the rest that it needs. So, and also your mouth wakes up dry as shit, 'cause you're like, like that shit
Yeah.
isn't good for your throat either. So it's good to try to figure out what the issue is, because you also might have sleep apnea. There might be another deeper issue going on in there, and you could die. Like mine, it got to the point where I'd really decided to do something about it, not just for Julie's sake, because she can sleep through a fucking firestorm outside. But I woke up one morning literally choking, or one night, like having a fucking choke attack. Like I couldn't catch my breath. And it's happened a couple of times, but it was fucking terrifying. And I was like, this is how you end up dead in your sleep. So I decided I gotta do something. So it's definitely good to look at the causes of why you're snoring. Not just for petty reasons, but for health ones. So it is worth to check that out. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anywho, I am down to 2 as well. Now so that's 3 total for us. And this one comes from Redditor Call Me Snake, 13.
Call
And
me
so
Snake 13.
you call me Snake 13. You know how they say love is blind? Well, apparently it's not blind enough to ignore condiment crimes. This is the good one. Because Redditor, Call Me Snake 13, found himself watching his girlfriend commit what can only be described as a culinary war crime. Because while they were out eating fries, just an innocent date, he said, I quote, she was putting mustard on her fries by applying it to her hand first and then rubbing it all over the fries. Then she licked the mustard off her hand. Not not like a dab, not a whoops I spilled. Like this was like premeditated. She
Oh
literally
my
cheated,
god.
she cheated her hand like a
She's
dipping tray.
psycho. She is psycho. Mm.
She smeared mustard on it like a moisturizer and then licked it clean like a fucking feral raccoon at a baseball
Oh.
game. Now imagine you lock eyes with someone across the table and you're thinking, wow, this could be something special. And then watching her slather yellow mustard onto her fucking hand like she's seasoning herself for battle. Yeah, no, you don't come back from that. That's not quirky. That's a cry for help. So, uh,
She's great. You know what? I don't think she should be around kids. I think that she's unsafe in public. That's fucking weird. What's wrong
that's
with
so
people? That's
weird.
so weird. No way.
That's so
No.
strange. I have to say, call me Snake. I don't know. This one's too petty. This bitch is crazy. Like you
That's
avoided.
not petty. You dodged a bullet. Change your number. Move.
That's fucking wild. I'm like I really can't imagine that. Like I cannot imagine that. And I'm the type of guy too that if you're eating Doritos and afterwards your fingers have all the Dorito stuff on it, so you fucking. I get that, but I can't imagine like rubbing my hand in a bag of Doritos so I can fucking lick the whole thing. That's fucking
But also,
weird.
like,
And
was her
then
was her
going
hand
back
clean?
in for more. What'd you say?
Was her hand clean at least? Who knows? Because
Well, that's
if you go
also
this,
yeah, that was also one of my first thoughts too. Like
oh,
if you're out at like a theme park, for example, there's no way your hands are 100% clean.
right, or a
Or at like a
stadium, or
baseball game.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly,
no way.
exactly. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
no fucking way.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no.
oh. Yeah,
I
I'm
was gonna
dead at
say
that
she
point.
needs Jesus, but Jesus can't help that. I mean, he did a
Yeah,
lot, but he can't. You gotta just lock her up in a padded
yeah,
cell, throw away the key, and
yeah,
just
that's a crime. That is literally a
wait it
crime.
out.
After that,
Oof.
every time she went to
No,
touch me, I'd be like, ugh, I can't. I can't
no
do it.
way. And then she's probably
Mm-mm.
like, "Do you want some fries?" "No, bitch. No.
Yeah,
I
right?
want nothing from you. Ever,
Oh,
ever."
damn it. I ran out of mustard. Don't worry, I have some right here.
Oof.
Ah! Yeah, no, no. Fucking saliva and mustard mix. Don't want that shit.
Can you
Ew.
imagine, like, during sex, she'd be like, "Come on my titties." And he'd be like, "Okay." And then she'd be like, "Hey, can you grab some fries out of the the
It's fresh poopery. Or was it
Yuck.
what is it the Canadian French fries? Not poopery.
It's, poutine.
Poutine, that's what it is. It sounds like
Poopery.
poopery. It's some poutine.
Let's eat some poopery at the 16th chapel.
That's
Okay,
right.
so my last one is an
This
oldie
was
but a
you.
goodie.
Yeah,
This
this
is
was
me
all you.
all day
I
every
know
day.
there's a
I talk
single
about it
reason.
all the time, but it's not just a deal breaker. It's so petty, but it's not such a deal breaker for dating, but it's also like, okay, so I went to the a Hilton hotel a little while back for this like work thing, and they said, "Did you enjoy your luxurious stay here at the Hilton?" They had a nice suite, um, and I was just so puzzled. I'm like, how can you call this luxurious if you have single ply toilet paper? It's all or nothing.
Yeah, that's shitty.
If you go to a fancy restaurant or a fancy retail shop and use the restroom and they have single-ply toilet paper, they don't care about you as a patron. They
I
don't
agree.
care. And like, if you're gonna have budget cuts, then like start buying condiments from Costco. But even Costco has good toilet paper. Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand.
Totally.
And so if you
Totally.
go to someone's house and they have single-ply toilet paper, they don't love themselves. They don't respect you. I mean, I don't expect everyone to have wet wipes. I love a good wet wipe. I don't expect that, but I do expect, especially from gay people, to have at least double ply toilet paper. And so when I see single ply, I think, okay, low self esteem. And I also think no one really invests in that. You steal that from a utility closet at your job. So not only do you have low self esteem, but I think you're also a thief. And like, I don't have room for that in my life. So I can't stress enough how much, I know it's petty, but how much of an issue single ply toilet paper is for me.
Yeah, I will say this one is like the last one. We're like, no, that's not petty. You dodged red flag. This is extremely petty.
Yeah.
This is. I'm glad it's your number one. Super fucking petty. But I do get it at the Hilton though, because they are charging you up the fucking ass. The least they could do is get some goddamn double ply toilet paper.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? The
exactly.
Hilton should have the nicest toilet paper. My ass should feel like it's on vacation. Wet wipes is a little step too far. And we did talk. Wet wipes are not necessarily the best for you because when you're wiping away the bad bacteria, you're also wiping away the good bacteria. So I use those sparingly, people, but they do feel
Well,
very
if
nice.
wet wipes aren't good, then butt licking might not be good either because you're licking away the good bacteria.
Well, maybe the person licking it is getting nutrition out of it.
Oh, maybe they're benefiting, you know.
Protein, brother.
It's like, do you eat your doctor would be like, do you eat your probiotics? Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, yes.
Usually they have to buy me dinner first, but
Yeah.
yes.
You know what? I don't even need silverware. Hey, how about them apples?
No, 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 no.
Nom 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 nom
Are
nom.
you, are you offering, doctor? Or are you just happy to see me? Oh man, yeah, single ply. That is petty. Okay, the last one asked to be to remain anonymous, so we named her Even Steven, but a girl, and based on this question, and this one was another emails from the listener that was just so petty, so wild that I had to put it at number one. And the wild thing is that Julie does this shit. So
Oh,
this
really?
hits close to home, but she does it a little opposite. So let me get to it. So this is gonna sound insane, but so this is what they say. Dear, hey frat chat. Okay, I know this is gonna sound insane, but I need to know if I did the right thing or if I belong in petty jail. My ex, emphasis on ex, she puts
Oh,
in parentheses, would always turn the TV volume to odd numbers. I'm talking volume at 17, 23, sometimes even 31. It made my skin crawl. So I asked him nicely more than once, hey, babe, can you please just keep it on an even number? It just feels right, symmetrical, like the world is in order. And you know what he said? It's just a number. Who cares? Who cares? And all bold. I care. Every time he did it, I felt like I was living in chaos, like I was dating the Joker. So one night I looked at the TV and saw the volume was at 19 again, and I just snapped. I packed my overnight bag, left his apartment, and texted him, we're done. You're emotionally incompatible with balance. So, am I petty or is I just protecting my peace and my eardrums? Love the show. And even Steven, because she has to be anonymous, but a girl. Yeah, no, this is literally what Julie does. So he was switching it to 1723, I guess, to fuck with her. Julie likes even number TV volume too. And sometimes I'll put her on like an odd number just to see if she's paying attention. And she'll be like, you fucking asshole.
so people really care about this?
Yeah, people legitimately care about this. This
So
is like
I
a
think this is
thing.
the pettiest thing on the list. I'm
That
like,
is super
what?
petty.
Okay,
Dumping
so
someone. I don't think Julie would dump me over it. That's wild.
this is what I think is weird. It's the same with the thermostat. It's like If you can't hear and you're like, hey babe, can you turn up the volume? If they increase it by one, I'm like, what the fuck is that gonna
Yeah, like
do?
what are you doing?
So
Agreed.
so I also think like at my job, like I'd like you guys freezing, and then like there's always like this is one I'm not gonna say his name. There's one person I can't stand, and he's like, well, it is on 71, but I'll put it at like a modest 72. Thanks. Thank you so much. Like all of our nipples are boring holes through our shirts, but thank you
Yeah, what
so
the
much for
fuck?
this
1
modest
degree.
1 degree change. So I think I would take issue if someone liked it too loud or like it not loud enough, or like maybe if someone like subtitles the other one doesn't. But like some TVs back in the day when you turn on the volume, or maybe not. I just know that like
They used to have
sometimes,
knobs, and there wasn't a
yeah,
number.
that, but also like I think about like my headphones. I don't know what number it's on. I just turn it up or down depending on like what volume I
Totally.
prefer, without thinking about a number. So I do think that if someone prefers odd, someone prefers even, in this situation, even Steven, I think that you just dumped your match. I think you both
Yeah,
have an issue. You both have a weird thing, and you guys should be, it could have been weird together, but instead, like, you prioritize your weirdness over his weirdness. So even Steven, I think you might be a bitch and too petty. Yes, you should be in petty jail.
totally. I agree. Send her to petty jail.
Yeah.
Do not collect 200, uh, throw
Yep.
away the key.
Bye, bitch.
Bitch, you petty. You
Mm-hmm.
petty.
You
Yeah, I
petty
agree.
hoe.
You could have had your match. You both could have collectively, maybe your children together would have learned to have both sets of numbers and be cool with it. You could have evolved past the fear, but no, here you are, sitting home alone, writing
She
us. But thanks for the email.
Yeah, she wrote here in quotes that she said, "We're done. You're emotionally incompatible with balance." She thought we were gonna be like, "Get a girl. You let him have it."
Yeah.
But no, I can't jump on that
What
bandwagon. I
queen?
think you're psycho.
So
Sorry.
yeah, no. But again, keep writing us and keep listening to the
Yes.
show.
Thanks for
5
listening.
stars. Give us that rating. We love you.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was our top 10 list of the most petty reasons to break up with someone, brought to you here on the Frat Chat Podcast. So let us know what you thought of the list. And let us know if you have any other topics you want to suggest, any questions, anything that we might call you psycho for. Throw it out a little of. Shoot us an email, fratchatpodcast@gmail.com. Also, give us a follow to our social channels, Frat Chat Podcast, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Threads, on YouTube, on Facebook, all that good stuff. Make sure you give us 5 stars as well, wherever you're listening to. And, put in a review if you have. It really helps the show. Also, give me a follow. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com, or follow me on all social media at Carlos Does the World, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads, on YouTube, Facebook. If you want to go on Twitter, it's Carlos Does the World. And last but not least, follow my good buddy CMO here and join the jams at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram and TikTok, and cmore.comedy on Twitter /X. So, Miss Lowe, it's time to go. Turn the volume to 23. Would you please get us out of here?
I'm gonna motion to adjourn this meeting so I can go paint the 15th chapel. See you later.
Some dicks on that bitch. All
Yes.
right, you guys. We're back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts in time. It's the Fat Chat Podcast. See ya.
You forgot to say I second it.
Oh, yeah, I second.
Okay, now we can officially adjourn. Okay,
Now we
thanks,
can
guys.
leave.
Bye.
Now, sorry, we did it. Now
Oh
it's
my God, Dios mío.
Bye.
Bye.